in Nepal.
Sweet. Looks like Chris is here.
What's up, other Nick?
Sorry about that. Other Nick. I thought you said brother Nick. I'm like, brother Nick? That's kind of fucking weird. Oh, other Nick. Hang on a second. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I found out my brother, he usually talks with the Facebook rep on Tuesday. He's actually talking with the rep here in just a couple of minutes, so I had to finish off an email. We have one ad account's just kind of weird. My personal page, I've gotten banned from posting on Facebook since Tuesday.
What?
I posted an educational post about Trump's propaganda. I'm basically like, hey, there's a really good email that was just sent. There's a motion. You have to pick a side. He has you choose become an impeachment an impeachment enforcement member or something like that. He's starting a membership club, and you could pick one of the 4 membership cards. Like, it's a great lesson in marketing. And I basically wrote this whole thing out. Like, if there's a motion, you choose sides. It is take a survey, but it all leads to the donation page. Imagine how many different ways we could tell a story to lead people back to the same spot. And as soon as I hit the button that says, if you believe that this does not violate our community standards, and I'm like, what? Like, if I haven't been able to post sunset pictures, anything. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, except inside of groups. So,
well, hopefully that gets sorted soon.
Well, hopefully. We've got lots of stuff to talk about going on.
Yeah, man. Facebook's got it out for you.
No, not just me. There's lots of ad accounts that are shut down. That's what most of the email was. My stuff's just buried down at the bottom.
Bizarro. Well,
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Couple of questions for you.
Can we record? Are we already recording? We are. Okay.
Yeah,
never mind. Go ahead.
I'm going to show you my screen in just a second. Here we go. All right. Let me show you the propaganda I got working. Now, the nice thing is when they set the ad account up, they set everything up in US dollars. So that's nice. There's nothing that I set up or that I could change or anything else like that. So this is perfect. Very excited for this. Now, here's what we got. So let's go top of funnel. So, by the way, do you have access to this stuff, or did you click on a link and it said I needed to do something else? Just to double check.
You know what? I only got far enough to see that I was added to the pages. Let me see.
Okay.
Venus U account. 300.
Could be saying that you're waiting.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, so you are into everything. Good,
Yep.
good. Okay. I mean, I already know you know with this. If you have any ideas, let me know. Just don't turn anything off or anything like that. You know that stuff. All right. So if I go, so by the way, you're going to see me use the old interface. I don't know if it's going to force you to do it. The only reason I use the old interface because I'm an old curmudgeon and I like to do stuff my own way. So that's the only thing that you may see difference in the interface. That's it. So if I search for top, I'm just going to talk about top of funnel. Okay. So what I did is I selected, 5 different videos, top of funnel. So for example, Know Your Genius. So Know Your Genius is 2 minutes and 8 seconds long. And Know Your Genius is the cartoon, which says, hey, you should know your genius, right? So I use the same ad ID and post, so we get lots of social proof, okay? Now, what my main goal is, I am only running video views right now until we have tracking in place, and we can say, okay, let's send this over here. We want to do this over there. So we may be getting leads right now that we're not getting credit for. Totally cool. We're just trying to figure that out, right? So you can see we get some comments, shares, whatnot. Now, question for you, since you're now managing the pages. Yeah, this is fine. We'll just share the call between us. It's fine. Here's what I would do if I were you. So do you have the Pages app on your phone?
I do, but it seems like every time I try and use it, no, that's the groups page. Yeah, I have it. I just never use it.
Okay, here's what you do. Number 1 is go into that Pages app, literally while you're sitting down in the morning or whatever, or going for a walk or sitting for the bus, whatever. Like, waiting in line at the airport, whatever, is what you're going to do is look down at your phone. I do this for kind of brand building all the time. And what's going to happen is you're going to open up the pages and you're going to click on that button for notifications, like where you can see how many people like your page, whatever.
Yep.
And what's basically going to happen is number one, that's going to be a great place for you to engage because nobody really engages with any of those people right now, right? They leave a comment. You can say something nice. So I always like to refer to Jesse Elder on this one, right? If you have a jerk, it's okay to respond back in a very polite way. If they're going to piss all over your business, don't delete them, just hide them. But engagement is good. So I used to just straight up delete anybody who would start to argue or be argumentative. If it's detrimental to your business, hide it. Don't delete it because that means the person won't see that it's deleted and Facebook won't count it against you as removing a comment. Not that they like negative comments, but I think you know what I mean there.
Yeah.
So what we look for then is I essentially have come in here and I've identified top of funnel 50 different targets. And these are, you can see in here, like in my opinion, the belief system of what he talks about. Eckhart Tolle, Perfect, Dale Carnegie, Fortune Magazine, Business Networking, Wayne Dwyer, Entrepreneurship. You can kind of look through all of these, top household incomes, Fox Business News, The Secret, Owners, Business Owners, Self-Titles, Gary Vaynerchuk, Entrepreneurs Organization. So this is all around entrepreneurs. You can see the screen. This is all around mainly entrepreneurs, direct selling, and some small businesses, not a lot, but mainly around like being an entrepreneur, not just having a corner store, right?
Right.
.com company, network marketing, Female Entrepreneur Association, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Zig Ziglar, The Secret, Fast Company, Lewis Howes. And if you want to, you can thumb through these. But these are all around the belief system, smart money, market watch of being an entrepreneur to make money, right? Now, what I want you to kind of keep in mind is when we take a look at this 2-minute and 80-second video, basically we've spent $107. It's 50 cents for someone to watch the whole thing. Just rough math.
Okay.
We are retargeting people after they're watching really 10 seconds. So this comes down to 10 cents. So really top of funnel for just this video, we get people for 10 cents that we're going to start to retarget middle of funnel. Okay.
Is this the best performing video?
Nah, I wouldn't really worry about that right now. We'll go over that in just a minute. The main moral of the story is basically this, check this out. We are going to take a look at this ad set. So this is Les Brown, right? I am advertising and I am excluding everybody and everything. I am targeting, I decided I used to do NFL, I'm going to do NFL cities that people could fly from to get to this area and a location. I can actually spend a lot of money there, or what I can do is just look at the locations that you're currently going to be speaking in and just advertise in driving radius, 50-mile square radius. I could get greedy and could get outside of that, or in my opinion, I could just completely oversaturate these areas, and that's what I'm looking to do. Mm-hmm. Instead of all the places they could fly into, and then I'll work with Hearn and those guys for their money revealed stuff from people all over the United States. But right now, I just wanted to help get people to take the tests that are local and then get them to move over to a local event. So all this stuff is at 50-mile square radius. I excluded Mexico. So this is top of funnel. So we're running in all of these areas, top of funnel. We're excluding all of this. So we know without a shadow of a doubt, ideally, it is a brand new person who is Les Brown. So if I use, for example, right here, these are 5 videos top of funnel we spent $311 on. That means if anybody from Les Brown sees 10 seconds of any of those 5 videos, they're going to be I kind of imagine it like a shovel. They are picked up and thrown in the middle of funnel, and we're basically scraping away at Les Brown, trying to pull as many people as we possibly can in those areas to suck them into our middle of funnel digital newspaper. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. All right. So what we have here is actually, let's just kind of do some very quick math. The thing is these things seem to get take a while to approve. I don't know why. It's probably because it's a brand new ad account. So the $2, I need more coffee. Know Your Genius, 2 minutes. We're talking about 50 cents, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what I can see from my side is I do see that people are clicking back to the website, but you know this business a lot better than I do, so I just want to double check. Because I know there's lots of different places that we can send people. Now, one of the things that I've come to realize is no matter how complicated the process is, as marketers, we'd like to make it smooth. But man, if someone really wants the information, they'll answer 52 questions and still not have an issue, right? Yeah. So just to be clear, I need to do copy link address because I logged into my account. So when I look for videos of Know Your Genius, I come to this page. Do you think so Know Your Genius video right now is set up to come to this page? Okay. Do you think this is where we should be sending people for Know Your Genius? Because I asked for a pixel here, but is this where I should be sending them, or is there another Know Your Genius test that I should be paying attention to?
This is the only one that has a landing page, so yeah, this is the right place.
Okay, so this is the right place. Okay, so that's cool.
Now I did mention to you the other day that I tend to think there's too much friction there because it makes them have to like fill all that thing out, and they have to go to that micro degree, and then they have to click on take the test. There's like 4 clicks that have to happen before they take the test. And I know if I'm on Facebook, I have about 10 seconds to do something before I'm distracted. So I built it inside of a chat bot. So that's the kind of thing though that I would love to split test and not just do, you know what I mean? Because I don't know that it'll perform better. Maybe people won't like being pulled into a bot to answer questions. Maybe they will. I don't have any idea. So what?
Yeah, the bot can be really easy, and we can go through that. It's the thing that I look at with this video. We get people to watch it for 50 cents. So retargeting with the bot, great. But we're also seeing people, just early stats is they're actually clicking on over, right?
Yeah.
When we look at this, they are, how many clicks do we get? We got 70 clicks. So I'm looking, remember, because you attended the class, I'm looking for video views. I'm not even looking for clicks, but We're getting clicks at $1.50. I mean, some of these clicks are coming in pretty cheap, 40 cents. This could actually lead us to some actual leads. I'd be excited about that. Now, I obviously don't like that you have to set up a membership, but if we can get a pixel to show that people do, I mean, I used to work with this guy named Blair Dunkley who taught me kind of the mind models and stuff that I use for IBR and stuff like that. He's like, I'm going to get people to, excuse me real quick. He goes, I'm going to get people to a webinar, but I'm going to ask them 57 questions about their wealth profile. And I like roll my eyes. I'm like, oh my God. He got 60-cent leads. I couldn't get $1 leads off of like one snappy, big, fancy headline for most clients, but because people really wanted the information. So my gut tells me, I bet we can get under $5 surveys. My gut tells me, I'm not saying you should repeat this to anybody right now, but I bet we can get $5 to $10 surveys from people coming in here and knowing their own genius. So we'll see what the pixel happens. We'll see in there. Yes, I think that's something we can test in Messenger because we have so many people coming in here. So just as an idea is we have, oh wow, now it's becoming less than $1. Oh yeah, this is great. I mean, essentially we have 425 people a day just from this video that we can start to retarget for the Messenger stuff. So as you can see, it's like we may spend $50 a day here for this one video, but literally we just start turning on $5 a day for the Messenger bot. If this works, we turn up to $2 to $3 a day, turn up the Messenger bot just a little bit. Make sense so far?
Yeah, so it'd be great. For now, it's fine that the people that are clicking are going to the page because there's, you said how many? 60 people clicked or something?
Yeah. This example is 20. Well, that was just for yesterday. So if I go lifetime, the way that I thought about it, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. If someone takes this, you don't get paid either. So it doesn't really, and just to be direct, it doesn't matter if we have tracking on or deny it. Right now, it's a nice to have. We would like to know if they did take the survey, but for everything that you and I have to accomplish for what you get paid for in my mind's eye, I would like to have tracking there, but I'm not worried about it because you don't get paid there.
Correct.
Am I right?
Yeah. So I'm looking more at the 350 number, or whatever the total number of people who have watched the video that we can now retarget, inviting them in to take the quiz in the bot. Because there's 646 people. Only 24 of them maximum have taken the test already. So I can retarget those people and invite them in to take the test in the bot, which then gives me the ability to start having conversations with them.
And I'll show you, we'll do that here middle of funnel, because that's kind of the next thing to talk about is with the clicks for middle of funnel. So the next thing that we did is right here is, are entrepreneurs born or are they made? So I kind of took some of my own liberties here. You can tell me if I need to take any of this stuff down. I just kind of know that lots of people's hands are in this doing lots of different things. So as long as I'm finding a public video and public copy, I'm just using it. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong on it. So essentially what we do is we have 50 audiences. Again, we're just using the same one. Our entrepreneurs made or born. There's no clicks here or anything else. This is a 2-minute and 45-second video. Wow, I'm already starting to get comments, which is great. I'm just kind of curious what these say. Oh, good. They're tagging people. Good. Tag more people. All right. So this video has 0 call to action whatsoever. This video is 2 minutes long. So roughly we spent 56. So it's about another 50 cents as well. If we look at 10-cent views, oh yeah, we're at 10 cents. It's the same thing as well. Actually less than 10 cents. So that means, hey, are you an entrepreneur? All right. So, all right. Sorry, my brother sent me a message on Skype and I just saw something. Somebody wants to sell a $5,500 product and wants us to get them 200 sales. Sure. Yeah, that's going to happen. That's what everybody does every single day.
Just $1 million bucks.
Mm-hmm. You can do this on Tuesday. All right. Here is 10 minutes. So Wealth Dynamics in 10 minutes by Roger. This is Roger sitting in the chair talking about Wealth Dynamics, but not, that's it. He's just sitting in the chair.
Yep.
So let's take a look. Ah, dude, 10 minutes, less than a buck. Right? So 10 minutes, what's half of 10 minutes is 5 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So what is 37 divided by 80? 37 divided by 80, 46 cents for someone to spend 2.5 minutes with him. So that's great. So there's nothing to click on for that link, but we are retargeting people, yeah, after 10 cents. So every video so far, we're able to retarget them after 10 cents, and it's about 40 or 50 cents to watch the entire thing. So again, once they watch any one of these, remember, they're never going to see it again. They're going to be middle of funnel, right? So once they watch, click whatever, they're middle of funnel. So let's see here. Lighthouse is 12 minutes. That's a little over $1 right now, but it just got started. How long does it take to retarget? Yep, 10 cents again for the first 10 seconds. So that's good. Again, there's nothing to click on for Lighthouse. This is one of the professional ones right here. Some of these I didn't realize they're 6 years old, as you probably already know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Some of this stuff is ancient.
Which is kind of funny because I was looking at it and I'm like, oh man, if I was to trip upon this on YouTube, like I don't like the music. Like it's just real loud and just At first, I know you know what I mean. But when you trip upon these on YouTube, it's kind of like finding these old YouTube videos that have been on there since like 2012, 2013. They're kind of cheesy. You hear the background of Roger's mic just hissing.
Yep.
Well, like there's one of them that I just downloaded, cut off that intro because I just didn't like the music of it. Clicked a little button that said, I think buffering for sound or smoothing for sound. So it took out all the hissing unless Roger was speaking. And as long as you don't know that it was shot in 2012, you just think it's kind of a bad mic. It's not that big a deal. So I'm kind of interested to test out some of this. So this one right here, I mean, we're getting, for people to watch $1, great. Again, I'm looking at some of these other clicks that they were running to. It's kind of crap, but 10 core values. So 10 core values is 10 minutes long. Same keywords as well too. So this is under $1. So it's 10 cents as well. Under $1 to watch the 10 core values. The 10 core values is I believe he's actually drawing on a flip. Oh, no, he's not. It's his second interview, him sitting in the chair like that. All right. And then the last one is entrepreneurs, core value, lighthouse.
I think we did them all.
We did cover them all. Yep, we did. So these are very, very early results, right? We spent $300 on video views. We've gotten 461 people to watch the entire thing. Great. We're really talking about this audience of kicking people around right now, this 3,400. So now what's going to happen is I created the Hot 28. I'll show you here in just a second.
Zero shoes.
No, zero shoes. Amazing if you like barefoot running. Now, what I decided to do with this account is I decided to do Hot 90. So basically, the Hot 7 is within 7 days of someone hitting the sales page. That's like, hey, buy your tickets now, buy your tickets now. But since you're building a community, since you're doing all these other things that typically have a higher price point, I'm going to go for a Hot 90, and I may take that audience size down later. But I already knew that there's a bunch of people who have saved images, saved posts, liked the page, whatever. And you can see this, like sent a message to the Genius U page. So I have access to the Roger Hamilton page, the Genius U page, the it's the Genius U. There's two others that I have access to.
Roger, Genius U, Genius Test, and then I hope Wealth Dynamics.
Yeah, let's double check. Yep. So Wealth Dynamics, right? And I have Wealth Dynamics. I have Genius U, My Genius Test, and Roger Hamilton.
Perfect.
So what I've done is I've already gone through and set up all the audiences. Now I got to go back and grab a bunch of these older audiences that we have in here, which you'll see. Okay, so anything that runs top of funnel, anything for the first 10 seconds is where we have 3,400, okay? And then we have our middle of funnel. Anybody who watches a video in the middle of funnel for at least 10 seconds, we have 3,500 as well, there as well. What I'm going to do is I still have to set up some, go ahead, were you going to ask a question?
Yeah, so does that mean that we have basically 7,000 actions?
What do you mean by that?
So like we had 3,400 people come to the top of the funnel. Do we have 3,500 people at the middle of the funnel right now?
Yes.
And are they the same people most likely?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
because remember, the only way we can get them is from the top.
Right. So there's no more general targeting. So as long as, because like the page you were at before that had like sent messages to Genius U and stuff like that, how do we make sure we're not marketing to people in Shanghai?
So remember, the only people that we are targeting is in the cities that you're going to speak at.
Okay.
That's it. So we are targeting. So I'm basically saying, hey, look, the Hot 28 or Hot 90, right? Hey, I'm willing to target the Hot 90 if they like the page, save the page, message the page, did all these other things. I'm willing to target those people. But when I say, hey, I'm going to target or I'm going to engage with anybody who's engaged with the page in the last 90 days, that's from anywhere in the world. But when I set up the ad, I say I'm only willing to target the people who have engaged with the page who live in these areas.
Got it. So when I saw that like 2,000 people that have messaged the bot, that's the max audience, but we're actually targeting only a segment of that.
Bam! Exactly. Because I figured this is the only thing you get paid for. You're going to be held accountable. What I used to do was like, well, let's just advertise in the United States, see where we get the cheapest, and then we'll advertise in the NFL cities, and then when it gets closer to the event, we'll just advertise in the cities themselves. Well, since you're building a community and we're not just running a sweeps, let's just run consistent ads in that community over and over. So what ends up happening is, let's just say someone in Las Vegas watches this video, right? Now they're going to be dumped in middle of funnel. So to be clear, here's what we have for middle of funnel. For middle of funnel, I have 18 different pieces of content. So know your genius, obviously. And then you'll see all the timestamps on here if you want to look. And these are really just getting started. Yeah, you can see like spend $1, $1, $2. But these are, in my opinion, I think these are all great propaganda videos. So let me just show you what these are real quick. You know the top one. So now it's work hard versus hard work. So he did this entrepreneurial series, TV series, but it basically just looks like he's everywhere. Hey, yeah, I'm up here in this.
He does a new one every month, so every month we can upload another.
Right. So I just grabbed a bunch of them. Hey, and they're not time-stamped, which is perfect. Hey, I'm in Whistler. Hey, I just got to JFK. I've watched all these, so I know what all these are. Hey, I'm in Bali right now. And he's just talking about all these little tips that are pretty quick, right? Hey, I'm in San Diego right now. That's 6 minutes. Are entrepreneurs born or made? Because remember, they're never going to see the same one twice anyway, so I can use anything that we're using top of funnel.
How do you make sure they don't see the same ad they saw at the top of funnel?
Because basically once they see an ad top of funnel, now they're middle of funnel. So if they saw one thing top of funnel, they're now in the middle. If they're in the middle,
right? It is technically possible they could have seen that one at the top of the funnel, right? The last one.
Yeah, but it's a very small percentage. They're usually just going to bounce around in here, right?
Just curious. Yeah.
Yeah. He's out on the yacht somewhere, which is great. Here I'm sitting out on a beach in Bali. I'm almost done with these, but it's important. I want you to see the propaganda going. Here's the Wealth Lighthouse that I wanted to make sure we got some of the labeling down for. That's the top of funnel. Here's Jamie Tardy, because it just runs to another podcast. So by the way, any podcast that he's on, I didn't look very many of those up because I got to talk to you about budget here in just a minute.
Yeah.
But this is going to edify Jamie just a little bit
I made a tab in the list I gave you to start collecting his interviews and podcasting. There's not a ton, but there's probably like 10 items in there.
Okay, cool. Here's the one where I told you that they thought Roger was cursing.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those 22-minute behind the scenes. It's good. And I wrote to Facebook and I said, hey, he just has an accent, so he didn't cuss at all. And then they approved that ad. So that's 22 minutes. I mean, it's less than $1 for someone to watch him for that. Now notice that this is changing up here at the top, depending if it's Roger. Hey, this is Roger coming from the Roger profile. If they're talking about the Genius book, for example, though it goes to the Genius guide right here, but that's why I'm using the Genius fan page. So people will see stuff coming from Roger Hamilton. They'll see stuff coming from Genius U. See here in a second. So like this, for example, I wanted to talk to you about this. So this is the Millionaire Master Plan, and usually we won't go over all the ads like this. I just wanted to show you everything that we have set up for the base just as we're getting started. But this, I grabbed right off of YouTube. So this is Let's Talk Live. Now, I'm no attorney by any means, obviously. When I see something like this, I'm like, oh, it has the branding, Let's Talk Live, everywhere, beginning, middle, end. So I don't really necessarily have to have a link over to their stuff. I may say, hey, we're appearing on Let's Talk Live San Diego. Totally cool. But we've never had any problems reusing this stuff before. So discover your free genius, send people here. But with Mind Valley, for example, I like the Mind Valley video. But the Mind Valley videos, they're all edited for YouTube. So at the end, they're like, hey, check out more at Mind Valley here. Hey, check out video 1 or video 2, which you then superimpose to YouTube videos on, so you can click on the next video you want to go to. So I would actually have to download the Mind Valley videos, edit them a little bit so it doesn't look like Mind Valley videos. And then I think I'm kind of out of my league a little bit, meaning I don't know if I should be touching it that much. If I knocked off 3 seconds, who cares? If I'm knocking off someone's complete branding and stuff like that, and we upload in the video, I just kind of don't get in those gray waters. So that's why I didn't upload any of the Mind Valley video stuff.
Yeah, I think anything that is on our YouTube channel is probably fine. I think the Mind Valley one was not on our channel.
Right. And like there's some stuff that like on other third-party channels that I could use where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. And I'm just not straight up like the street, perfect example. Everything talks about the street on here. It's all labeled the street, but this is perfect because it looks like it's coming from the Genius test, right? Learn how to take your own test there. Just got a couple more here real quick. But these are anywhere from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. They all talk about entrepreneurship in one way or another. Not just, hey, do you feel good about life? Would you like to find out a little bit more? 5 steps to flow. And then this just takes a little while. There's 3 more left in here. These are just now getting to run. You can literally see, I mean, less than $2 that's kind of spent. So right now, I think we're about at $240 a day. And I can turn some of this stuff off, you know, top of funnel. It's literally, we're just scraping that cold market, putting people here in the middle. Mm-hmm. Now, the next thing to work on is to get people to that free Genius survey. Want to make sure that tracking's set up so we can see that they're there for the free Genius survey. Then the next thing is I'm a little unclear, and I put this into Skype, but I'm a little unclear of the links that we should be sending people to for the live events. I know where they put the pixel at, but I'd love to double check with the team and find out 110% where specifically should we be sending people for each live event. Do you know that answer?
Yeah, I have 2 landing pages for December.
Can you send those to me here in the chat?
Yeah. Looks like San Diego's isn't attached yet. I'll send them to you as soon as we're done. I may have to get Grace's help.
That's fine. All right. So we have the free test, and then so you have your events. I have the events. That makes sense. Do you have any local meetings that you want to be talking about in these regions, or are we just talking about the straight up event?
So ultimately the goal is to sell tickets to Roger's event, right?
Right.
But getting awareness for the socials, getting people, you know, So I have 2 thoughts when you ask me that question. So the first thought is, obviously, let's grow the community, and I would love to be sending people to the Atlanta and Austin socials, and now Vegas is going online. So we have several different cities. But this ad spend is specifically allocated, right, for getting people to the events. Considering we have an event coming up in Atlanta, promoting their social right now is probably not a bad idea. So that's the first thought. The second thought that comes to my mind is, if I'm driving people into Messenger Bot, I don't have to spend any money. In Messenger Bot, I can be retargeting, or not retargeting, but I can have like a button for find our local social. Like I could use Messenger Bot for a lot of the things that are not budget allocated right now. So like what's your feedback on that?
So basically what I see is we have top of funnel. We're getting people to, you know, get eyeballs. Now we have our middle of funnel digital newspaper where we can pretty much pitch them anything that we want. So when I start thinking about like you with North America and your branding, if I were in your shoes, I start thinking about the locations that you can physically influence. So when you talk about like, hey, Vegas is opening up, I then think about, are you going to go to Vegas and help with that social there, or is there someone else in Vegas that takes care of that social?
Yeah, there's someone else.
So are you close with that person?
I mean, I'm recruiting them and training them, yeah.
So in my opinion, I kind of like network marketing. I would lead by example, and I would probably run ads to the places that you're doing your stuff now, and then tell them what they could be doing later. So just kind of a long story short, when Nick and when my ex-business partner Tom and I first got into network marketing, we had our first, I think it was like $40,000 or $50,000 a month. So all we did is we just started working with all of our underlings. For the next 45 days, Tom and I made zero money. It sucked ass. And then when I asked my mentor, and I'm like, hey, what the hell's going on? He's like, how big is your stack? I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? He's like, how much money have you made in the last 45 days? And I'm like, 45 days, I've been helping out all these other idiots. And he's like, yeah, who's the idiot? because I wasn't really leading by example, right? So I'd rather have you just lead by example, and as it starts working, we can start talking to the other local communities on how we can move ad spend over in their area.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it would be great to promote the Austin social.
Okay.
It's as long as we'll be targeting those people to buy tickets to events. I think that it all makes sense.
So that means then you're going to have to create the events through one of the pages that you have access to. Okay. So as long as you create an event, like you create an Atlanta event and you use Roger's page to do it, we can retarget that event. If you have Grace set up an event underneath her name, that's like a personal post, we can't retarget that.
Okay. So yeah. So question. Yeah. So I've got basically, I don't want to derail this conversation by getting into my strategy, but I think it's important that you understand what I'm doing. So as people are coming in, they're engaging on social media, they are buying tickets, taking tests, stuff like that. As of right now, there's no community for them to be part of. There's no direct connection to community. So one of the ways that we have community is we have these socials that are physical locations, in Austin every month. And then the second thing is the ACE Facebook group, which after our call last week, I'm now keen on doing a live in there every Wednesday. So those things are actually a branded community. They're the Alliance of Conscious Entrepreneurs or whatever, right? So that branded community is who right now has its own page. It lists the event every month. It's where all the people are going to be gathering to get wealth dynamics education from me on a weekly basis. But I don't want to use any ad spend of Rogers to push anybody directly into what I'm doing. Indirectly is fine, right? If they end up going to the chat bot to take the quiz, and then while they're in the chat bot, it's like, hey, would you like to see some local events? Then it's totally cool. If I'm going to be promoting and spending actual ad spend on a local event in Austin, then absolutely that event needs to be on one of their pages. The good news is Facebook allows multiple pages to share an event, so it doesn't have to only be on one. Right. So like when I do an event, it's from the Trace to Net page, the ACE page, and I guess I could use probably Entrepreneurs Institute, which I don't think you have access to right now.
Right.
Maybe I could just use Genius U. I don't think it actually matters. So yeah, I'll probably do it on Genius U. But yeah, I'm 99% sure that won't be a problem because I can still have it on ACE and have it on Genius U at the same time.
Okay. Good. Okay. So, okay. I have one video with you and Grace and Roger, right?
Yeah.
He kind of sort of gives you an introduction. Now I can run that. So let me think about that. So help me re-understand the communities that you are involved with, that you want your face with. So they want to, locally recognizable. Are we talking about just Austin? Are you flying out to Vegas and some of these other events? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I am to be seen as the national leader for all things that have to do with wealth dynamics. Right? That's kind of like the general term. I'm specifically involved in events, but if you come to a local event and you're talking to your city leader and your city leader's talking about an event that's coming up, like I am at every one of the events that our company puts on all over the country, but I'm not at every social. Right. So like okay. I'm the first person that people in the United States will meet once they are officially going to a company event, if that makes sense.
Okay. I would really talk about that in your videos. Because right now we have a digital, so right now we have people coming, and I say this kind of out loud just so I'm thinking through it too. We have people who are getting to know Roger from a top of funnel, right? Scraping those, great, got those coming on in. We'd be spending some more money in those cities if we wanted to do that. Now, the next thing is we're creating our own digital newspaper, our own digital propaganda, right?
Yep.
So essentially what we're going to be doing here is we have 18 pieces of Roger's content that they're starting to get to know Roger just a little bit more. So what I could see is anybody who watches 50% of any of Roger's videos, we could create a video, which could just be a couple of minutes from you. And essentially what it would be is, in my opinion, be introducing yourself. Hey everybody, my name's Trey. Let me tell you, I am in charge of North America. Man, I'd love to be able to shake your hand someday in person. Make sure, if nothing else, you get out to some of the live events. I could see you doing a 2 or a 3 or even a 4-minute video with just you introducing yourself as whatever that title is for North America, and literally saying, and I'd love to be able to shake your hand at the next live event. You know, check out our calendar of events for live events. So you can probably come up with your own script, but just imagine 3 minutes and you're kind of covering, I don't care if it's 3 or 5 minutes long, right? But it's, you, hey, I know you've been checking out some content with Roger or about Roger. I know you've been checking out some content about Roger. Really excited you've been doing that. Thank you. Let me introduce myself of who I am.
Okay.
I'm your North America regional manager. I'd love to be able to meet you in person. So by the way, if you're, basically the video comes down to this. I hope you're enjoying the content. If you haven't already done so, make sure you take that genius test. If you haven't already done so, make sure you take that genius test. And I would like to personally invite you to a local event. And literally you can say this, I'd personally like to invite you to a local event, because if you're seeing this video, we have a local event for you to meet me, for you to meet Roger and myself in person. You'll see the link in somewhere on the post.
Okay.
It's the main things you're covering, right? Hey, I'd like to introduce myself. Like, I think I'm thinking of some kind of tagline where I can hear it almost every time that you say it, and you kind of figure out your own one. But like, hey, I'd love to be able to meet you in person. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you check out your little local schedule. Till then, it's Trey. Can't wait to meet you in person. Something like that.
Cool.
So we need some videos of you that make that transition. I don't need 20 videos of you that make the transition. If I just have one that's 3 or 4 minutes, I'll make sure that everyone sees that video that's middle of funnel.
Great.
And then if you want to, you can make some other content videos for people to get to know you. And I can make these very, very easy for you. You can just, like, literally, these are like 4 sentences. You ready?
Okay.
It's the 10 by 10 by 4. Have you ever heard me talk about this before?
I have 10 info, 10 engagement, 4 invitation.
Close. This is for videos. So it's 10 frequently asked questions. So what are 10 frequently asked questions? You can make up anything from the genius test, talking about wealth, whatever you want to do, right?
Okay.
So that's 10 videos. You can also do another 10 videos if someone has been watching Roger's content and they're considering coming out to a live event. Because the 10 videos usually are, if someone's considering doing business with someone like you, what would the questions be? So you could probably make 10 separate videos of, hey, watching a video about Roger and wondering, is it worth the time to come out to an event for a full 8 hours? Great question. Is it, wondering, is it worth the investment to come out for a full 8 hours? Is it worth the drive?
So is this just 10 different videos? So I'm clear on the FAQs. That's easy. What's the second one?
So that, yeah, the FAQs, and then questions people should be asking if they were going to do business with someone like you.
Okay.
Right? So what questions should, hey, you want to consider going, you're going to spend 8 hours with someone. If you're going to invest 8 hours with someone, here's some questions I would be asking myself. Am I going to get value? Am I going to learn something? Is it going to be actionable?
Got it.
That makes sense.
Yes.
And then 4 videos, just a little bit more about you. You know, hey, you are on tour with Roger. The reason decided you wanted to partner up with Roger is because you've been giving speeches all over the United States, but you've never seen a speech like this. Once you saw that one speech of his about the Light Wealth House, everything just clicked for you. 4 videos about you, kids, family, and how you just can't wait to meet them in real life.
Cool. So create 24 videos. Length?
People get to know you 3-4 minutes. Like, I don't need 24 videos tomorrow. You crank 3 out, send them over. I'll put them in the middle of the funnel. Crank another 3 out, put them over, send them in the middle of the funnel.
Yeah, that's easy, man. It's the easiest thing you've asked me to do yet. Okay.
So that's it with us, is we just got to get the link to the Genius test. You're going to send me over the links for the live events to make sure that they're there. And then the next thing for us is some content from you. I just want to make sure, hey, are people signing up for the Genius test? Are they seeing your content? And then we'll start retargeting people over for the live event itself.
Okay. 2 questions. Number 1, I sent you over a new audience. It's not big, but it's like 91 people. I did like a summit interview last week. A bunch of people clicked on the link to go take the Millionaire Master Plan test. I got their email addresses, so it's small, but that's an audience that at least knows who I am. So there's that. I've also got my whole list, which isn't huge, but it's like 1,300 people.
Yeah, upload them to the custom audience if you want to do that.
Okay, so I don't know how to do that. Do I just send you the?
Just send it to me. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll take care of it.
Okay, cool. So I'll send you my audiences. And then are we targeting Roger's existing audiences? Because I see all the stuff we're doing with cold, but what are we doing with warm audiences?
So that's all inside of our hot audience as well, too. Let me show you.
Okay.
And then I got to run here. Nick, do we have, is it 3 o'clock, right? Yes, 3.
Yep.
For the Genius Society for the Q&A. But let me show you here real quick. These are all our Rogers audiences. So this is the purchased email opt-down. So this is all included middle of funnel. Okay. So if they are in middle of funnel, and remember, they have to be in this area. It's the only way for us to see them.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
All right. I'm going to have my bot guy on the call next week because I'd like, so be ready for that. I'm going to have asked him lots of questions on how we can leverage bots to make this even better.
Love to.
Cool.
Love to.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother. Take it easy. I have to go in later.